Sunday Morning with Eve Myles on BBC Radio Wales.
Good morning, Eve Myles with you this Sunday morning on BBC Radio Wales, right through until 11 o'clock. On this show this week, PR legend Sara Robinson and comedian Dan Kiss look back at this week's news. Live music from the wonderful Amy Wadge. I'll be chatting to my mate actor Tom Price from Torchwood. And what would you cook for a prince? I'll be meeting the top Welsh chef who made lunch for Harry and Meghan. But now, we got a little bit of Bill Withers for you. Enjoy, guys. You're listening to Radio Wales with me, Eve Myles, and on the show this week, why knitting is good for you, do clever people live longer, and we find out why the humble pork pie has fallen out of favour. With me to discuss these and other matters of great importance this week are Sara Robinson and Dan Kiss. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hello.
Hi. So tell me, how's your week been?
Not bad. I've had a slightly stressful week in that approaching is my first wedding anniversary, so I've been trying to work out what is a sentimental gift that involves paper.
Yes.
So I'm thinking I might just sign.
I have an idea, but I don't want to give it away to your wife.
I might just
scribble some stuff down.
Sign a bit of paper. All the best from me. Yeah.
I should tell the listener, actually.
money.
I've also got the fantastic Amy Wadge with me. Hello, Amy Wadge.
How are you? You just go cash. That's
Right.
paper.
A fiver.
No, I'm thinking like 50, multiple.
500 out of a Monopoly.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's your first year anniversary.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
That's amazing. Don't get it wrong. Get it right.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, because you want to make it to the second.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. And Sara, what have you been up to this week?
Working hard and running a lot this week. I've joined a new running group in January, so we go every Tuesday. So that's been fun.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Has that been fun?
Fun, inverted
Is that what you
commas.
keep telling yourself?
Really.
It's been fun.
It's been fun.
It's been fun.
It's hard, isn't it? The running malarkey. I started about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm running at the moment for I'm doing the marathon next month.
Amazing.
And
the London Marathon.
Yes,
Wow.
I am. Yes, and it's the worst decision I've ever made.
You can't back out now.
I can't back
It's too
up now.
late.
I mean, my husband is booked at the hotel. We're staying for the weekend, and I've got
You
to
could
do
sustain a strategic tactical injury,
Well, that's
though there's
possible.
time for that.
Don't say that on the radio.
Sorry, I've done it again.
That's
I've done it again.
Ames, how's your week been, my darling?
It's been good.
Yeah?
I've had a kind of mum week, parents' evening.
Yes.
And a
How were
school-
they doing? Are the kids doing?
They are smashing it. I
Nothing
would
like their
say.
mother, then?
Exactly, thanks for that. And I had a night out with Miss Minogue, mic drop.
Never.
I did.
Never.
Danny.
Sara
Not
Minogue.
Danny, Kylie.
Sara Minogue from Nice.
That's the one. She's a
She
lovely
likes a
lady.
night out, doesn't she? So you had a night out with Kylie Minogue?
I did. Well, Kylie, it was Kylie's album launch on Tuesday, and so I went to Café de Paris in London and heard her sing our songs, which was very exciting.
And you've been working on that with her.
I have.
And I'll be talking to you about that a bit later.
Cool.
I'm going to have to bring this up, okay? This is my second week. I can't believe they've brought me back, but they have, so on their head be it. And I haven't got a jingle, so I'm feeling a bit, I don't know, a bit down in the dumps.
Oh my God! So what, on the spot now?
Come on, Wadge. Keep it clean, Wadge, and nice. Make sure you say something about my good looks.
There's only a few things that rhyme. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
right?
which is, it's Sunday and
She
early.
always smiles. She's Eve Myles.
Yes, I am.
She's got lots of style.
Yes, well.
She's Eve Myles.
Yes, I am.
She'll grab your tile. She's Eve Myles.
Don't know about that.
Oh, it's Sunday morning, BBC Radio Wales, Eve Myles.
Come on! Okay, this is one of my favourites. This is Elkie Brooks with Brother Singer.
She stands up.
Ditching the car and walking to the train station instead. 2,117 steps. Taking part in a sponsored dog walk. Oh, 968 steps. Or just getting up to change the TV channel instead of using the remote. I know! 12 steps! And they all count in the nation's Billion Steps Challenge. Get the Sport Relief app, get stepping, and start raising money today. Find out more at bbc.co.uk/sportrelief.
Sunday morning here with me, Eve Myles, and thank you for joining me again. Now, the pork pie is in trouble. This is devastating news to me and my family. Sara, please explain to our lovely listeners.
Yes, this is very sad news. So the humble pork pie has been ditched from Britain's inflation basket, according to new research from the Office of National Statistics. So every year they pull together the kind of national shopping basket. So what are we buying and what are we not buying anymore? And it turns out the pork pies have very much fallen out of the basket to be replaced with women's exercise leggings. Now, I'm a fan of both of those things.
Both delicious.
And I think there's room for both of them.
Isn't the point of having exercise leggings in the basket that you can't
Eat
the pork pies?
exactly.
Right? Yes, I mean, this is ridiculous.
So, and I'm a huge fan of kind of Valley's, from Pontypools,
Yes.
Valley's wedding disco buffets growing up always were just predominantly beige, and the pork pie was the star of that show, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Along with the Scotch egg and other meat-based items.
Yes.
So I'm quite sad that the pork pie's fallen out. It's my kind of guilty pleasure snack if I ever stop at a service station or, if I'm hungry in the supermarket. It's those kind of tiny little Melton Mowbrays, and I just try not to think too hard about what's in them.
Yeah, don't.
And I think you're fine.
Yeah, I think I might
Have happy thoughts.
I
and
may have
enjoy.
contributed to the
Go on, Dan,
the
yes.
falling out of the pork pie, because I was really going through a pork pie phase recently, and then I sort of found a bit inside one that looked a bit like the sort of, like an inside of a bicycle tyre, just sort of like it crumpled up and constricted, and I sort of and I was like, I don't think this sort of matter should be inside anything edible.
Oh, look, kids,
so I was just like,
edible.
yeah. Whoa. I look like one of those sort of balloons, with those ones you turn into a giraffe. They're specifically designed to be like animals and things like that.
Well, as long as you don't think of that, we should be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
as long as you sort of...
There's not a picnic in my house without a pork pie.
No, I don't think it is a
I got a
picnic.
joke. Do you want to hear a joke about pork pie?
Yes, please.
Okay, I can hear my husband now shouting at me, "Don't tell the pork pie joke. Don't tell it." But I am, because I like it. So a man walks into a bar. And he says, "I'll have a pint." And the barman says, "Why are you wearing a pork pie on your head?" And he said, "Well, it's a Tuesday, it's a family tradition. I like to wear pork pies on my head." And he went, "Well, it's a Wednesday." So he turned around quite sheepishly to himself and he went, "Well, I've made a right fool of myself." I'm glad I shared that with you, Wales. So what better way to go into a song after a pork pie story? Here's a bit of Kylie Minogue. Eve Myles here with you on BBC Radio Wales. Right, so let's have some live music now. I'm chuffed to bits that I have Amy Wadge here in the studio, and she's going to be singing live for you. I'll be having a chat with her a little bit later, but first, give us your best, James.
I'm going to try. I'm quite scared.
Don't be scared. Enjoy it. We are.
Sometimes life gets between all the plans that you're making. And then in a moment, suddenly everything's changing. And you never could be ready for it. It's living so you can't ignore it. You were a phone call away at the end of a long day. I still have your voice on my phone saying I'll see you on Monday. And I never could be ready for it. Suddenly the rain is pouring, looking up to the sky when I don't know why. But I'm gonna send love down the river, tie it to a ribbon, and make it fly. Put it on a sailboat. When the wind will blow, we'll learn to say goodbye. Life's about winning and losing, hoping and praying. It's about searching for something and putting your faith in. And I always will be better for it. I don't know who I was before it. I look up to the sky, even when I don't know why. And I'm gonna send love down the river, tie it to a ribbon, make it fly. Put it on a sailboat. When the wind will blow, we'll learn to say goodbye. We all roll on, roll away, like waves we all must break. Like tides we'll turn again, and don't hold on, for heaven's sake. as much as I am wanting you to stay. And I'm gonna send love down the river, tie it to a ribbon, make it fly, put it on a sailboat. When the wind will blow, I'll learn to say, and I'm gonna send love down the river, tie it to a ribbon so it can fly, put it on a sailboat. When the wind will blow, I'll learn to say goodbye. When the wind will blow, I'll learn to say goodbye.
Amy Wadge. 4:11, another live song from Amy Wadge. Multi-talented actor and comedian Tom Price will be joining me for a chat, and the man who's cooked for 4 generations of the royal family. Let's have a bit of The Police.
And Eve will be back after the news. Now a look at the weather forecast. There's a Met Office amber warning for snow in place until 9 this evening.
Sunday morning with Eve Myles on BBC Radio Wales.
Good morning, Eve Myles here with you this Sunday morning on BBC Radio Wales. Thank you for your company. Coming up, more live music from Amy Wadge. I'll be catching up with Torchwood star Tom Price, and Sunday lunch fit for a royal couple from the man who cooked for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
On BBC Radio Wales.
Wales travel to China for the China Cup tournament. It'll be their first match with manager Ryan Giggs in charge.
It's goal for Wales!
Thursday from 11:20 a.m. There's live commentary as they take on tournament hosts China.
It's an absolutely unbelievable goal!
Available on all our medium wave frequencies. China versus Wales.
On BBC Radio Wales. Your team for Welsh sport.
Eve Myles with you on BBC Radio Wales. Can you imagine if somebody had a drink every time I say this in the show? People would be absolutely smashed. Anyway, right, let's have some more live music. Amy Wadge.
I love it that that's the lead up in that comment.
What are you going to play for us,
I
darling?
am gonna. This is an exclusive just for you, but I've not actually played this song other than when we recorded it for your amazing show, Keeping Faith. And so this is Faith's song, and I'm a little bit scared.
Gave you all that you needed. You cut, but I'm bleeding. And all of my strength I gave to you. Well, I love completely. You lose, then you leave me. And all of my hope left with you too. But I gave my heart, all I did, I gave my heart. And although it's lost, it is still beating. And I gave my whole soul, I did. Give my soul. And although I'm broken, I am still breathing. I will sleep through the moments, all the moments you've stolen. And oh, for my love, I learned the truth. That I gave my heart, all I did, I gave my heart. And although it's lost, it is still beating. I gave my whole soul, I I'm still breathing.
Amy, last week we had Ella Hughes in, and of course she sings the version for Un Merche in the Welsh, and I had the opportunity to thank her last week, and I've not been able to sit down and thank you for writing these songs for such an important piece of drama and an important part of my life.
Oh, Eve,
so
well,
you've brought the spirit and the heartbeat to the series, and I'd have you in my ears for really important, you know, difficult scenes to do, and you helped me. So you've been with me all the way through. So I'm taking the opportunity now to say thank you so much.
Oh, Eve, that means so much to me, and it's just been so brilliant to watch the show anyway and just be part of it. I'm so proud of the whole thing, and you know, and if I've brought something to it, then that just means so much. And Ella is just phenomenal.
Yes,
she's, you know, I'm a dinosaur in this industry, but she's 18, and Ella Hughes is definitely one to watch. She brought so much to the Welsh language version, and her voice is just beautiful.
And you've inspired her to start singing again and to get back into the business. So how is it doing in the charts? Let me listen know.
It's kind of crazy because it's gone. I think it's number 13 in the UK iTunes chart at the moment, the EP. And my publisher in London, like, he rang me and he was like, you know, Wadge, you're on the Shazam charts, and I said I don't even know what that is. But literally, it's like number 1 on Amazon and really like crazy sort of stats.
So when I sent you a little email on that Friday night, did you think that you and I'd be sitting here today saying it's in the charts, it's in Shazam?
I know, whatever that is.
It's actually really bad to be in Shazam.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's really, you don't want to be in Shazam.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
He's younger than we are.
Yeah.
We totally believe that.
Yeah.
But no, and it's lovely because it's just been, I hate using that word, but organic. It really, really has, because it was just you saying to me, do you know what? I'm doing this amazing show, this amazing script has landed, and will you meet the producer? And I met Pip, the producer. I thought she was phenomenal, and you know, and it's just, I've loved it because it's just been, my job is invariably like I have to deliver 3.5 minute pop song at the end of the day, and it's got to be a certain way, and this was just a blank canvas and do what you want.
For people who don't know, that Amy trained with me at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, and you were in your 3rd year when I was in my 1st year, and that's how we first became friends. And so you have been trained as an actress. Do you think then that feeds into your writing for songs?
I mean, I went to drama school basically because my singing career was, I got dropped by a record company when I was 17, so I ended up at Welsh College doing acting, and music's always been the thing. And even, I'm sure you can remember, I never had a guitar out of my hand.
I'm sorry, I can't remember anything from Welsh College Music and Drama.
Well, I obviously was more sober
I got
than
a qualification and I left.
I remember though that your first week, everyone knew that Eve Myles had arrived because the roof fell on her.
Can't believe she's bringing this up.
Yeah, but it did. You were the girl that had like a brick land on your head.
There we are. Not only have I've had to live with that for 20 years. You know, broadcasting it on Radio
Trauma. That's it.
That's right.
But I remember, you landed, and that was it. Everyone knew you.
So did the ceiling.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. But I think no. I mean, I love watching drama. I love being captivated by something, and in the end, I love words, and so if I have something where if I'm working with an artist and they bring an idea or a story of their own, that's like a joy to me. So this was just like pages of joy where I could just read and decide. I think you obviously, your character needed a song in my mind that was kind of your inner dialogue.
Would you like to choose a nice track?
Well, it's got to be Elton.
Elton John?
Always.
Oh, God.
So I had a speech prepared since I was 8, and I got to give him the speech last year.
Wow.
Because I met him. And
what was it?
And it
Do you mind sharing it?
I don't mind sharing it. And it was just that my dad had given me Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and I took it, and it changed my life. And literally, it just suddenly, this kid that clearly had ADHD, as in me, suddenly I had a purpose, which was writing songs, and I told him, and he said to me, I wish I'd written Thinking Out Loud, which was kind of nuts and was so lovely, and said that we should do a play date. So I'm just putting it out there. We've never done that, Elton, so perhaps we can. Now you're retiring. We can do that.
I'm going off script a little bit here now, just because I can, and then I'm not here for long,
show.
so why not? Why not? But speaking of that song, before we do play your request, would you give us a little?
Do you want me to play it right now?
Would you mind?
I mean, go on now. When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet, but will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Or will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Well, darling, I will be loving you until we're 17. And honey, my heart could still fall at my heart at 23. Well, I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just a touch of a hand. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day, and I just want to tell you I am. So honey, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. But when your hair's all but gone and memory fades, and the crowds don't remember my name, when my hands don't play the strings the same way, I know you will still love me the same. Well, honey, your soul could never grow old, it's evergreen. Honey, your smile's forever in my mind and memory. Well, I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Well, maybe it's all part of a plan. Well, I just keep on making the same mistakes, well, hoping that you'll understand. The baby, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Oh, darling, place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. Yeah, maybe we found love right where we are. Yeah, we found love right where we are.
Oh, you wrote that track with Ed Sheeran, is
I
that
did
right?
indeed.
And it went diamond.
It went diamond. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's just made my day. That's fantastic. Hey, listen, this next song is for you, you beautiful, talented, fabulous woman.
Thank you.
Elton John. Oh. Eve Myles with you this Sunday morning on BBC Radio Wales. Thank you for spending your Sunday with me. Now, have you got one of those things that sit in the corner and gives you the wrong answers to questions? No. I do not mean your partner. I mean a digital personal assistant. They don't like female voices, apparently. Dan, will you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, it's an odd one, this, because apparently experts are telling us that your Alexas and your Siris and stuff can't understand a female voice because it's quieter and more breathy.
Right.
But what they've done there is they confuse women with being ill, because women have normal voices, but being breathy and quieter is just being ill, just having a cold. That's not a whole sex or gender of people.
No, thank you, Dan.
But these things, I think that what the point is, these things just don't work, and they'd rather claim to be sexist because there's something they can fix there. I think they just don't really work. Like, Siri has never worked for me. The only time I've ever got Siri to work is if I've shouted, "Are you being serious?" at someone, like John McEnroe, and then it bleeps up. When I say, "Hey Siri," it's never happened. It's only when I use words that have Siri, like seriously or something like that in it, that it ever works.
Yeah, I recognise this though. So I'm a bit of a gadget geek. So I've just installed Alexa, which sounds like a bit of a Tinder date gone wrong, doesn't it? Into my house, in three rooms. So if I'm in the bath, I can say, "Alexa, turn on Jazz FM." That was the plan, but it doesn't often work that way. She just doesn't understand me, and I think maybe it's something to do with my voice. I don't know. Am I very breathy? Is that a thing? No. I don't know. Maybe I
think this
am.
happens to everyone. Everyone says this though, that they can't. It never works for me. You say something.
Yeah. And I have to try a million different ways, and in the end, by the time it's taking you to do that, you may as well just walk over to the Sonos and change it yourself. But she does listen to my son, so every time my son asks her to do something, which kind of bears out this research.
Has he got like a Barry White style voice, booming like
exactly? 11-year-old from Grangetown sounds exactly like Barry White.
My husband walked in this morning and my daughter was on her little Minnie Mouse phone, and that's what she's saying. "Hey Siri, you're going to come to nursery with me today?" It's not cute. I find that really...
It's weird, isn't it? Because
creepy.
they're robots. We're talking to robots, and they've become this cross between kind of concierge, children's entertainer, personal assistant. Yeah. I also find the fact that they're kind of ostensibly female, and they're supposed to be personal assistants. I also find that in itself quite sexist.
Absolutely.
Sorry, rant over.
My Siri is a guy, and he's my nemesis. I have a hatred for him. I don't hate many. In fact, I don't even use the word hate very often, but I hate him. So anyway,
I tried to change my Siri to you call me Mr. Kiss because I felt like it wasn't very respectful, because every time I'd ask it something, it'd just go, "What are you talking about, you idiot?" I can't find
That's
this.
a strange question.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank goodness that Siri isn't a real person I could take into a ring and have a fight with. Okay, digital personal assistants respond better to male voices than female voices, apparently. Oh, let's have some Manic Street Preachers on this Sunday morning. You're listening to BBC Radio Wales. I'm Eve Myles. Owen's on after 11. Before that, well, I like to catch up with old friends from time to time. I'm not sure he'd like me referring to him as old, but my fellow Torture cast member, Tom Price, is on the line from London now. Hello, Tom.
London calling. Hello, Eve Myles. Good morning.
How are you, darling?
Oh, I'm all right, thanks. I enjoyed the Manic Street Preachers then. I love a bit of Manic Street Preachers on a Sunday morning.
Do you?
Oh, you can't go wrong. Yeah, I've met James Dean Bradfield, right?
Yes.
And it was my birthday party a couple of years ago, and you weren't invited. Sorry about that. And we'll move on.
I don't do 50s. That's all right. Go on.
Yeah. Really, that actually physically hurt me. I'd had a couple of drinks. I think I'd had a pint and a half.
No, Tom Price, you don't. That's a pint and a half of milk for you. We know you're hardcore. You'll have half a lager and then you go, "Ooh, I'll top that off with a pint of milk. Don't want a hangover in the morning."
It was a Baileys. It was a pint and a half of Baileys. And I went to the toilet, and there was a mutual friend at my sort of in my entourage, right, who knows James Dean Bradfield. And when I got back from the toilet, who should be sitting right next to our group? None other than James Dean Bradfield, right? And in the haze of the Baileys, my Baileys haze, I thought, oh my God, they've done this as a surprise for me. They've invited James down to my birthday drinks. And I went and just, I literally got back and went, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's you." And I hugged him and I was saying, "Thank you for coming, and I'm so pleased that you're here." And he was just having a drink with some other mates. He had no idea who I was or what was happening.
I always tend to meet him for some reason in the lift in IKEA. And it's
that's such a weird place to bump into a Manic.
It's happened 3 times now, and I keep getting in and going, "Oh, not him again." Oh no, and you know, he knows who I am. I know who he is, and it's just really awkward. We stay in silence. I'm holding a load of candles. He's holding a plant, and I'm just going to go and try and get some meatballs or something and change the subject.
To be honest with you, though, Evie, those lifts are massive, and he's tiny, so you could miss him.
Yeah, because I'm a giant, Tom.
We all know that.
Yeah. How are you, love? You all right?
I'm really well, thank you. Yeah, I'm really sorry I couldn't be physically there.
Yeah. Bet you are. Yeah, thanks for making the effort. It goes a long way with me, my friend. Yeah, next time you ask me, I can't wait to help you out. No problem.
Good. Okay.
I got somebody here who did make the effort. This is we've got a real stand-up comedian here. We've got Mr. Dan Kiss.
Hello,
Dan
Tom.
Kiss.
All right, Tom. I think I was there with you on that James Dean Bradfield night.
No, tell us the truth,
Yeah.
And that is my entourage right there.
He was, I was the entourage that supposedly Tom had been hinting that he wanted a surprise guest.
Yeah.
But we just got Wyn Evans instead, and he didn't even notice he was there.
I don't know who that is. Wyn who? Sorry, who was that?
Yeah, I have been on nights out with Tom before, where the first thing he asked when he went to a nightclub was, "Have you got air conditioning?" So that is the level of party Tom is usually going for.
That is actually not true. What happened was, Dan, we went to a club in Cardiff Town on a after recording The Leak, and we'll talk about The Leak shortly, by the way, Eve. Note that down. We'd just recorded The Leak, and we went to a nightclub, and it was a really cold night. It was a cold November night, so I asked if they had heating.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tell me, were you in, I don't know, baby blue cashmere? That's your usual attire, isn't it?
I think you'll find I was rocking a Marks and Spencer.
You would. You weren't rocking anything, Tom Price, is the truth?
Nothing at all. I've never rocked a single thing. Have you just brought me here to abuse me? This is why I've not come all the way from London to you, Eve. To be told I don't rock anything and I drink milk.
So, listen now then, what is it that you want to talk about, this leak? What is it?
Oh, yeah,
Tell
the
us
leak,
all
right,
about
so-
it.
Dan, what's the best way to describe The Leak, seeing as Dan is a long-time worker on The Leak?
Yes.
It's really sort of my pet project, really. It's sort of my brainchild that I've been working on for a while now. It's like a topical comedy chat show. So there's lots of jokes, lots of guests, lots of weird stuff. I think one of my the last contributions I made to the series was getting Tom to interview a wall. When
True, we
walls
did
were-
actually. Yeah, there was. What was it about? There was a thing about. Oh, it was the Donald Trump
It was
wall.
the Donald
So we
Trump
wanted to know
wall.
what
Walls were
the world
becoming a
felt about
big-
Donald Trump building a new
Yeah.
wall. So we interviewed a wall who was very frosty. Didn't respond.
Yeah, it was not a lot of cold shoulder from the wall, which was surprising because they're usually very talkative.
There was a lot of culture. So that is back. So we're doing The Leak. That will be back on Radio Wales in mid-April, late April, something like that. And it'll be on Saturdays. So can you listen? Thanks.
That's brilliant. Are you doing any stand-up lately?
What, me?
Yeah.
Joking. Have you? I mean, did you ever watch me do stand-up?
I've tried to.
Exactly. No, I've not done any for a while. I've been doing some of the radio. You know, I've been doing some of the radio presenting and some of the acting. And by the way, I'm delighted that you've decided to turn your hand to radio presenting now. I feel a bit like you've copied me because you copied me with the acting because you saw how well I was doing as an actor. So you're like, I'll get a bit of that, and that's obviously done. You've done all right at that. You've done quite well there.
I've got to have someone to look up to, Tom.
And now you followed me into radio.
Yeah, I just thought if it works for him, it's got to work for me.
Yeah.
You know, it seems to be working out for you, and I just thought, well, if Tom Price can do it, maybe I'll give it a little go myself.
In all seriousness, Evie, do you know how many people have watched me gig and come up to me afterwards and said, "It's thanks to watching you that I thought I could do stand-up."
Hello.
It's true. It's true. Because they watch me and go, well, if that absolute streak of whatever that is can do stand-up, then
streak of gorgeousness.
Tom's the master of comfortably lowering the bar to make things feel achievable.
Do you have any gigs coming up that we can put out there, Tom? Because
do I have any stand-up gigs? No,
you are
I
a
haven't got any
brilliant
gigs coming up
stand-up.
at the moment. Do you know what? I'm doing a corporate gig this week, and I don't know. I've just had an email saying, "How do you want to be introduced on stage?" And I haven't replied to that yet, so I don't know how best to describe myself. And if you want to help me with that, Dan and Eve, I'd be more than happy. Whatever wording you come up with.
Yeah, we can't do that on this show, that's the thing. Yeah, it wouldn't be allowed on a Sunday morning show,
I'm writing down a few ideas now, I'll email you.
Okay, thanks, mate. Great, thanks very much. Make sure that autocorrect doesn't change those nasty words. So yeah, no, I haven't got much stand-up coming up, Eve. But like I said, I've got The Leak on the way, and there's a new sitcom, there's a new Welsh sitcom which I've been asked to do, which I only found out yesterday, so I probably can't even tell you that.
Oh, congratulations, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it's exciting.
Is that radio or is that television?
No, that is actually on TV, so I've got to lose a bit of weight, shave off the beard, go about. So having worked in radio,
Tell
I
them to
really let my
stuff it.
personal
Tell them to
hygiene
stuff it.
drop.
If they want you to change how you look, tell them to stuff it. Tell them you don't do it. Say you've got one look and that's what you rock.
And that's what it is.
It's baby blue cashmere and a pint of milk. Okay? Just let them know that.
That'll be me.
Tom,
Being
listen.
a dad, but in my early 30s. Right, not early. All right.
Early 30s. Get him. Tom, listen, thank you so much, my lovely, for taking some time out this Sunday morning and getting in touch with us. It's been a treat to talk to you, and I hope to speak to you soon.
I love you. Dan.
Love you.
I like
Love you more.
I like you too, Tom.
Okay, on its way is a bit of Connor Evans. Take care, babe. Bye-bye.
BBC Radio Wales is exploring Wales.
With our ears.
So we've arrived down by the seals. This is the sound of Wales that I had never imagined existed.
Step into an amazing 3D sound world with sound artist Hugh Huddy as he discovers the sounds of Wales.
The rattle of the cage gate was the same in every colliery in South Wales.
Hymns and arias in our stadium is special, isn't it?
So these sounds, they're ringing out all over Snowdonia, aren't they?
Yes. For the full immersive 3D audio experience, put your headphones on, sit back and enjoy.
Sounds of Wales.
Available now on the BBC iPlayer radio app and on the BBC Radio Wales website.
Eve Myles with you on BBC Radio Wales. Good morning. Thank you for listening. Now, knitting. It's good for you, apparently, Dan. Is that true? Tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, apparently it is. Apparently it can reduce anxiety, depression, chronic pain, and slow down dementia, according to new research. So,
wow.
I mean, who knew a sock could have so much power?
Yeah, it says here that knitting can lower your heart rate by an average of 11 beats per minute and induces an enhanced state of calm similar to that of yoga. So for all those people out there like me who are struggling with their downward dog, it looks like a knit one, pull one might be a good alternative.
Hey, Sara, we could have a pork pie. And we could do a bit of knitting.
Yeah.
We could knit a scarf.
Sounds like the best night in.
Anxiety free.
I know.
That'd be amazing.
I love these things. Like, it does sound like there's always these things come up that are supposedly meant to help with your, anxiety or stress, whatever. And it feels like knitting does feel like a real one, because my dad, when I was younger, bought a Game Boy with Tetris on it to play before bed, because he thought he got that in his head that would reduce stress.
Big mistake.
And all that happened was he just
got fraught.
Just
an insomnia or something.
Yeah, he's
probably.
just-
I get that, though. I get
Yeah.
that with the knitting, how it can just calm you down. We do a lot of that on set, actually, when you've got a lot of spare time.
When I was pregnant, which was 11 and a half years ago, I was living in London and I had to give up everything that was great about London. So drinking, partying, all of those things. Cheese. No, I could still eat cheese, just not soft cheese. I'm not sure if the advice on that's changed now. Anyway, I digress.
hanging on the outside of the tube.
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
Had to give that up and walk everywhere. So I took up knitting. I joined a kind of little knitting collective in London, and so my overriding memory of being pregnant in London is of sitting outside Angel Tube Station knitting a lot.
Sounds horrendous.
And my son's actually quite chilled, and I wonder if maybe those two things are linked. Perhaps.
It's also made of wool as well.
He's also he wears a lot of cardigans.
He's a very warm child.
Yeah, definitely.
You just can't hear him saying, please.
No. Literally wrapped it up in cotton wool.
Right, all right then. Well, okay, we're going to go to the Carpenters now, and I want to dedicate this to my friend Joe. Oh no, this is my favourite part of the show. It's almost Sunday lunchtime, and we have a very special treat in Studio 5. Colin Gray runs Capital Cuisine in Caerphilly, and he was the man who had the job of cooking for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle when they visited Wales a few weeks ago. Hello, Colin.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
You've made me very happy, and Dan and Sara. As you walked in, we've all been handed some delicious things to eat.
A few nibbles to keep you going.
Yeah. So, what have you made for us?
Oh, we've got a little bit of... we've got a couple of different companies. Well, there's one company, Capital Cuisine. We're an event catering and pop-up restaurant business.
Yeah.
But also we have a little manufacturing business. So some of the stuff there is what we make. Chicken liver parfait with spiced pear chutney.
I'm going to have a little try of that now, if you don't mind.
That's really nice, yeah, nice and smooth. On a little bit of brioche.
Oh, hello.
So good.
New best friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. Now, is this all, I don't know, locally sourced, local ingredients that you
absolutely.
use?
We source a lot of local ingredients, and we pride ourselves on promoting Welsh food and drink. I work as a food consultant for the Welsh Assembly Government as well, in doing that sort of role. We source locally and where we can. Sometimes you can't get the ingredients. For chicken livers, for example, are quite difficult to source in Wales. So, we have to go further afield. But generally, yeah.
So then tell us here in the studio and the listeners, how do you get approached to cook for the royal family? How does that happen? Do you just get like a little phone call going, all right, Carl?
Well, it was a bit like...
It was a liver room for royal families.
It was a bit like that. The actual conversation went from my good friends at Orchard Media. They were tasked with organising the event, and literally Becky phoned me up on the Friday afternoon and literally said, "Hi, Carl, what are you doing next Thursday?" So I looked at my diary and was, well, we don't have a lot on, so yeah, I'm sure we can fit that in.
What is it, a little wedding down the bay or something?
Yeah. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge, but it was the numbers weren't very big, so it was. I think the more challenging thing was actually getting in and out of the castle and up and down the stairs and steps and through the various rooms and different things. But
and is it true that Harry asked for a takeaway?
He did have a takeaway, which was a bit of a surprise, really, because I think they're a little bit reluctant to eat too much, and I think he sent his driver back in for a napkin full of the. We had a really nice Celtic Pride Welsh beef.
Right.
Cooked nice and rare on a little crostini, which his driver went and grabbed a load for the journey back.
I thought you meant he'd sent you down Chippy Lane. This is a bit posh for me. Can I just get some curry sauce and chips?
Royal doggy bag.
Royal doggy
bag. Wow.
Yeah, so that was...
Chicken curry off the bone and chips down in Caroline Street is... it's not up to this standard, of course, but it's amazing. No. What did you actually cook for them on the day, then? What was...
we had some of the fishy stuff here on your left is a little gravlax.
I love how you're selling that, Carl. The fishy stuff here on your right.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a little fishy thing you got here.
It's a cured salmon. We cure it with Hallermorn sea salt, and that one's got Cardiff gin with it.
Oh, so, no wonder I love it. I love
it. So that's quite nice. It's cured, and that was that was
delicious.
On there for him. We had the beef. We had the chicken liver parfait and stuff. So that was it was all very small, dainty stuffed canapes for them. I think they were starving actually because they had a real hectic schedule that
busy
morning.
Day.
Was there anything you were told? Do not give them this. They will be offended if you give them cocktail sausages. Or...
No. They weren't real dietary requirements or any sort of preferences. So
she was wearing a very white coat that day, wasn't she? I remember
no
the pictures.
Spaghetti bolognese.
So no ketchup, I imagine. Wouldn't have been a rule.
I would have. You should have done the old pork pie, mind, because it's dying out. I think Meghan Markle would have loved.
Could do with championing somebody championing the pork pie and making it artisan, the same way they've done with gin.
She doesn't have enough sort of causes at the moment, does she?
No, she's not busy.
She's not busy at all. Colin, what would you do to bring back the want for a pork pie?
The want for a pork pie? Well, that's a difficult question because people are on so many diets and fads and things these days that the pastry that they're traditionally made with a pork pie is we got a hot water pastry, and very often it's made with lard. So
I love lard.
It's not very very healthy.
Isn't lard good again now?
Yeah, lard's always good.
Yeah,
I'd have lard on toast if I could.
It depends who you speak to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Butter is better for you now than obviously margarine. That was an interesting topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I love a pork pie, to be honest with you. Pork, I just really do.
Yes, man after our own heart.
We've been talking about the jingle today, right? And we've had the amazing Amy Wadge, and she's done this fantastic, just off the cuff, did a jingle for me. But I kind of think you've just topped the jingle.
That's the clip, isn't it?
That's the clip. You've had BBC Radio Wales. I love a pork pie.
I love a pork pie.
So, Colin, what makes a great chef, do you think? Is it how they've trained, or is it how they cater for people? What would you say makes a great chef?
I think there's lots of not criteria. Criteria is probably the wrong word. Qualities, I think, that you need to be a good chef.
The ability to swear?
The ability to swear is certainly one of them, yes. I think it's about the... It's almost an attitude or a lifestyle thing, because when you're training and when you're working in the chef environment, all your mates are off on a Friday night and a Saturday and a Sunday.
The hours are long,
enjoying themselves and partying, and you're stuck in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And if you're not that type of person, then it doesn't really work for you. There's long hours. The rewards are great. We've cooked for the royal family lots and lots of times.
How many times have you cooked for them?
5 or 6 times now.
What a show off Colin is.
Wow.
What a show off.
I've been part of the Welsh Culinary team and the Culinary Association in Wales for a long, long time, so we get asked, hence the phone call for the Prince Harry thing. So we do a lot of the royal visits and things like that.
That reminds me of the time I took my nan to a garden party at Buckingham Palace, and she loudly commented that she wasn't impressed with the sandwiches. So I reckon she'd be much more impressed with your food, Colin.
Oh.
Definitely.
Well, it's an incredible thing for them to have come down on the day, and even more incredible that you got to make some delicious food for them and bring them in for us to taste today. So thank you so much, Colin.
You're very welcome.
It's absolutely
You're very welcome.
delicious. And so, yes, this is the capital cuisine in Caerphilly. Colin Gray, thank you so very, very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's give Colin a round of applause. And Colin, please bring back the pork pie.
Short and sweet.
This is delish.
Strumming my pain with his fingers.
And we've still got Colin here with us in the studio. Doing anything nice next week, Colin?
We've got a couple of events on, something for Grant Thornton, and then we've got a couple of weddings on this weekend, so...
Flat out.
Busy,
Oh,
yeah.
lovely. Dan?
I think I'm mostly going to be dunking different types of food in gin after this.
You are more than welcome to come to my house.
Right, I'll bring them up.
Yeah. The
Some
sausage
crisps.
roll. Get it done, get inside. Doing anything nice this week?
Knitting and pork pies, I think, it's on the cards for me this week. Inspiring.
I'm so
One
glad.
inspiring Sunday morning. It's definitely set the tone for the week ahead for me.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me this week. It's been a pleasure to have you on with me in the studio. So as I say, this is all we've got time for. Thanks to all my guests this week: Sara Robinson, Dan Kiss, Amy Wadge, Tom Price and Colin Gray. This has been a 16 Media production for BBC Radio Wales. Do you know what? I love Stephen Hawking. I'm sorry to hear he passed away this week, but I would love to end the show with a quote from him. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. And however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. See you next week. Ta-ra!
Wise words indeed. And he could have added, listen to Owen Money on a Sunday morning. He's coming up next. Well,